about, it was 2005. I was at the USA Finals, the final 12 players, and basically, I lost to my younger brother, who's also now a commentator. But because I lost during the final 12, I had the opportunity to talk to a production crew, which was GSL at the time, and I asked them if they'd be interested in having somebody come up on the stage and commentate in the USA Finals to do StarCraft. So they let me do that, and basically from there I got a job going to Singapore. Actually, in the USA Finals, I got to cast my little brother winning, which was actually awesome. But yeah, I went to Singapore, and then I kept skipping classes in college to go to events until eventually I got a job offer out here in Korea, and that's how I ended up here.
저희가 스타 1으로 중계를 할 때 이제 클래식부터 시작을 했는데요. 저희가 그 폭풍 옵저버라는 그 외국인들에게 굉장히 유명한 자기가 옵저빙을 하면서 굉장히 중계를 잘한다는 친구가 있다는 소문을 듣고 섭외하게 됐습니다. 저희가 이제 GSL을 다시 중계하게 됨으로써 저희가 리그를 섭외를 다시 하게 됐고 뭐 걱정 없었습니다. 뭐 아시다시피 잘 하는 친구니까 스타2도 문제없이 잘 중계를 해오고 있죠.
닉은 일단 저에게는 좀 고마운 사람이기도 해요. 제가 곰TV에서 일하고 있는데 스타크래프트 1 때부터 이 곰TV에서 저희가 중계를 해외로 송출을 했었는데 닉이 그 중계를 하고 싶다고 미국에서 꿈을 찾아서 한국으로 날아와서 저희와 함께 중계를 했어요. 그래서 닉이 이제 그 중계를 통해서 닉도 굉장히 유명해졌고 그리고 곰TV도 해외에 저희 곰TV를 알리는데 굉장한 도움이 된 그런 친구예요.
You know, when I was doing the GomTV Classic for StarCraft 1, it was a lot of fun, but at the same time, it wasn't at the same level as where the GSL is now. GomTV has basically come like such a far way, where now in StarCraft 2, it's like we've all come so far, and now this is basically the best produced esports show so far of all time. I think what I've done now since StarCraft 1 is I focus more on me and my co-caster being a duo and not just us being like independent units, and that's made things go a little bit smoother. And I've tried to focus on making it entertaining, as entertaining as humanly possible. So where if a game is not that exciting or something, or maybe this is just a game where nothing's going to happen for 5 minutes because they both fast expanded, well then it's my job to try to, you know, tell a joke or tell a story. But if it's the opposite of that, if it's actually the best game I've ever seen, I'm going to focus only on the game and make it as epic as possible.
닉은 신나요. 그냥 큰 그 자체예요. 그래서 게임을 보면서도 사실 그냥 게임만으로 그 즐거움 전달하기가 어려운데 닉 같은 경우에는 거기에 드라마를 때로는 이제 주인공이 되기도 하고 해서 조금은 더 익사이팅한 그 중계를 하게 되죠. 그래서 보는 이들도 즐겁고 그리고 그 수준도 게임은 워낙 그 이해도가 높아서 닉 같은 경우에는 재미와 그리고 게임에 대한 분석도 이런 것들을 모두 충족시켜줄 수 있는 그런 해설가라고 생각을 합니다.
저 같은 경우에 이제 오전에 아침에 회사를 오면 메일 확인부터 이제 보통 일과를 시작하는데 보면 저한테 직접적으로 이제 닉이나 뭐 댄한테 뭐 안부를 전해달라 혹은 뭐 친하냐 뭐 이렇게 해서 걔네한테 이런 이야기를 전하고 싶다 뭐 앞으로도 계속 그 어떤 스타2에 있어서 닉의 어떤 위치는 계속 그 가치가 오르지 않을까 라고 생각합니다.
어떻게 보면은 정말 뭐 제덕이나 요한 형보다 인기가 더 좋을 때가 많거든요. 정말 외국 팬들은 닉을 정말 어떤 연예인 뭐 누구 선수보다 인기가 좋기 때문에 되게 부러워요. 거의 뭐 신 정도로 추앙하는 사람들도 있기 때문에 그럴 때 보면 되게 부럽죠. 인기가 굉장히 좋은 것 같아요.
No, I think I was just lucky to be, I was the first person to become a broadcaster, so I just have a head start on everybody. I mean, one thing I've tried to do that I think has worked to some degree is I try to incorporate humor. Because, like, for instance, at GOM, like, there's such a long amount of broadcasting hours. And there's a lot of people that can talk about StarCraft, but I try to make it, like, as entertaining and, like, get in touch with people about, like, being a nerd and stuff like that. So, I think, yeah, basically for one, I just have a head start, and then second of all, I try to use humor and try to relate to people in the broadcast. I think the most difficult part about casting in the GSL is just the amount of time it is. Because if you look at the way Dan and me are in game 1 versus the way we are in game 12, like sometimes if it's gone on for too long, I don't even know what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like I want to do a good job, obviously, but just having the endurance to do it, because you know, with and this is true about esports in general, but the amount of broadcasting that an esports person does is more than any news anchors on TV, and it's unscripted and it's live, so it's a very challenging way to broadcast. And not only are you trying to be entertaining, but you're trying to be analytical too. So that I think is like probably the hardest part. This is the hot water that I use to try not to lose my voice. And this is my thermos. And this is actually the most dangerous part of my job, because sometimes I'm not paying attention, and the hot water spills over, and I burn my hand. I do this every break. I've been in Korea for about 4 years, and I think the first time I came to Korea was about 6 years ago, because I landed a gig out here that lasted a week. And I'm like really lucky because I've gotten to travel like all over the world, but I actually prefer to live in Korea over living in the United States. So the main reason why I'm in Korea is I just like living here. I think it's a nice home. And I think it's actually the best place to live if you're going to be in esports, because this is basically the mecca of esports. I think like the best part about my job is that, you know, Korea is the place where esports really started, and it's the place everybody's looking to for esports. So it's a real honor to be on a show that's basically the best esports show on the planet. Regardless of any game, it's just the best. So I'm really happy to be part of a project that is so progressive and it's just doing so well. I think there's certain types of people in this world that live with regrets and decisions they make, and I'm just not one of those people. I don't think I could actually get where I am and do what I'm doing now if I was somebody who actually looked back on myself and thought, oh, I should have done this differently or that. I mean, you can't actually change decisions after you've made them, so I have no regrets. I actually don't have any regrets in my life. I'm really happy with what I've done, and I look forward to what I'm going to do in the future. Well, I feel actually safer in Korea. There's no guns or anything like that here. I think the healthcare system's better here. And I mean, it's not that the United States is a bad place or anything like that, but I prefer to live here. I like the culture a lot. I like the food a lot. And it's just, overall, it's a better place for me. I feel like I belong here more.
쾌활하게 사는 이미지가 있어요. 그리고 되게 한국 문화에 대해서 배우려고 노력하는 측면이 되게 예뻐 보일 때가 있었는데, 그 친구가 막 마늘, 뭐 된장, 뭐 이런 거 되게, 쌈장 이런 거 되게 좋아하고요. 삼겹살 맨날 뭐 사달라고 이런 얘기했던 예쁜 친구입니다.
You should try kimchi. Most people, most Americans don't like kimchi, but if you just get used to the flavor of it, it's actually really good. You should, if you're drinking, you should try somek. It's where you mix soju and beer together. It's pretty good. I think that's. I'm an alcoholic. Like.
Oh, can you say some things you know in Korean?
한국말 조금 알아요. 맥주 좀 주세요.
이름이 뭐예요?
Nick. Yeah.
몇 살이죠?
I am 27.
In Korea.
죄송한데 한국말 잘 못해요. 죄송합니다. This thing right here? 떡볶이 하나 주세요. 예. 감사합니다. When I first came to Korea, I lived in a place called Gangnam, but I always found myself drawn to Hongdae. It's kind of like an art district, and there's lots of live music out here. It's kind of like a college town. But I told myself I wasn't allowed to move into Hongdae until I had a broadcasting job in StarCraft 2. And so once I got the deal with GOM to do StarCraft 2, I basically allowed myself to move out here. I love it out here. There's lots of live music, there's lots of art museums and stuff like that, and I just feel like it's a good place for me. Well, I mean, I love my family, but I don't like get homesick or anything. I mean, you know, if I miss them, I'll call them and stuff like that. But I think I'm like a person that I'm okay traveling. I think I'm like made to travel and like be away from people. So, I mean, for instance, like, I guess when this video would air, I've actually just gotten done visiting my family, my mother and my brother, and I'm actually gonna go visit my dad for Christmas. So, I mean, I miss them sometimes, but you know, if I call them, they're always there for me and stuff. So, I guess I would say I don't miss them all the time, but I'm doing fine. We have a good relationship and stuff. Well, I've worked with a lot of different people, and it's been sometimes a good experience, sometimes a bad experience. But the reason why Dan is the best person to commentate with is, and this is the joke like we actually had with ourselves before we refer to ourselves as an Archon, is I think our strengths and our weaknesses are balanced out. So like when Dan and I work together, it's a situation where we're completely comfortable. And one good thing about Dan and me when we work together is if I think Dan's doing something wrong in a broadcast, I can just bring it to his attention. And if Dan thinks that I'm doing something wrong, or something we have a situation where basically we think we can improve, our egos don't get in the way of it. I gotta be careful how I say that. One thing I can say, I don't ever know if Dan and me are the best casters or anything like that, but what I can say is that even the way that Dan and me have dressed on camera has been copied almost universally at many other events, and the phrases that we say, I've noticed, are even copied, which is actually fine. I don't mind that. But for instance, the phrase that we came up with was to help people learn RTS games is, what do you do in your head? You get more ahead. We hear almost every other commentator say that now, so that makes us really happy that, you know, we're having an impact on esports. I don't know if I have like a ton of direction on this one. I know what I like doing is I like StarCraft. I don't know how long I'm going to broadcast for. I do enjoy doing it, obviously. I do want to try to maybe like write some books as I get older about various topics. Obviously, one would be esports, and keep doing television. I enjoy doing it. I don't know where that's going to make me end up, but I know I'm happy doing it, and it feels very fulfilling. So I know that for now it's a good idea to stick with it.